James, great to see you, and what a start to the season the team have had, particularly on one side of the garage. How pleased are you with just the way the team have responded over the winter to really step it on so far this year?
Yeah, really pleased, because it's this is a really competitive grid now. Gone are the days where there's large gaps. We're down into milliseconds, and what I'm really pleased about is that our focus has been on 2026. I've been very clear on that, but we've still been able to produce a car that's moved us up to really the top end of the midfield and in contention for fighting for points every weekend, which is what our target was going into it. There's some elements though. We have work to do to help Carlos get comfortable in the car, because I think then once you have both of them there, will be a force to be reckoned with really against the midfield fight. But otherwise, I'm happy that we've got most of what we could get out at the beginning of the season. I think there's a little bits of points here and there that could have been picked up.
With Carlos, it's always been the case that it probably takes a bit of time, like any driver, to settle in. Do you feel like you've kind of got what you were paid for, essentially, in the drive that you've had from the experience you've had of the first 3 races?
I think we're getting more than I paid for. And I think the reason why I say that is because there's 2 different ways to assess performance. Number one is obviously what you see in the car driving around. And in that regard, he's making steps forward. I'm very comfortable that he will be on the pace shortly. But it takes time to acclimatise. We are quite a different car to the Ferrari. But the second element is where I've been very impressed. What he's doing with working with our aerodynamics team, with our race engineering team, with pretty much everyone throughout our organisation on finding those last milliseconds. That's the reason why I wanted him as part of this team, and he's delivering absolutely above my expectations.
You obviously know a lot about the guy on the other side of the garage, having worked with him for a while. It feels like he's really levelled up. Have you seen a different Alex this year?
Yeah, 100%. When I first joined, within that first year, he stepped up significantly, and I've seen the same step this year. He knew he had Carlos, who's a benchmark in the sport, coming in. And what we're seeing from Alex now is he still has his funny side, but it's a lot more focused and dedicated, and I'd say in a weekend, he's delivering. There's no foot he's putting wrong, and that's really quite impressive for the races we had so far, and I'm sure the races going forward.
Just one final question. I know he says that his team radio is always like that, but what have you made of his team radio?
The bit for me is this. I think we could have done a better job of letting him know. If we said to him, bear man 4 seconds behind on exit, you relax right down. All he really knew is cars are stopping around me and I'm in traffic with leaders, and you got to remember, all a driver can see is probably half a kilometre in front of them and about 200 metres behind them, maybe in mirrors. What I like about him is you can't take one without the other. So his come on when he comes on the radio, you can feel it's electric. That's the emotion he shows. And the converse to that is when he's frustrated, he'll show that emotion as well at the same time. You can't taper one down without the other one being tapered down, and I'd much rather he shows this emotion.